Alright, just for clarification, a breakdown of how these all go together. So that's the 55 gallon, that's the 30 gallon. Here's what the inside of the 55 gallon looks like. So I cut these holes for ventilation. I cut up a empty spray can, paint spray can to make those, and just drilled a hole to make a wing nut bolt so I can loosen it with pliers if I need to. And then along the bottom edge is all these vent holes. And then this just goes inside of there like so. And then I try to get it so that it's about 2 fingers width along all the edges. So get it kind of evenly spaced. If I really wanted to make it easy on myself, I could weld some guide bars in there so that it would always sit in the exact same spot, but this works. And then I'm gonna fill it up with as much as that as I can pack in nice and tight. And then I'll put this along the edges. I'll just show you with one. I've got these cut so that they're just slightly less than my 2 finger widths, so that if this is positioned correctly, we'll do it up here, it just slides down in between. And then I just keep sliding those down until it's filled. So you can see the sides are all filled up. I'll fill up even further after I get the lid on. I've got a little bit left over there, but once the lid's on, there's even less room to push it down. So I get this all packed first. So this shows them vertical. I'll get them as packed up in there as I can vertical, and then put smaller pieces on top. And that's all the verticals I can get in. I pounded those down with a sledgehammer. So they're tucked, they're in there pretty tight. Move the whole barrel just trying to pull on one. Okay, and that's all I can pack in there and still get the lid to fit, because it has to fit. It can't have any air coming in. And I put the lid on, and now I'm gonna put more discs in those gaps. So now I've got the fire started. You can see, if it'll focus, you can see the there. You can see the wood that's packed down in the sides. And then there's wood packed inside the inner barrel in there. And then I've got bigger chunks of wood right on top of the inner barrel, in addition to the cinder blocks that are weighting down the lid. And then smaller and smaller and smaller. And then there's charcoal underneath these twigs. So everything should be getting nice and toasty here pretty soon. And right now I've got all these vents shut. Okay, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'm going to be really quiet when I get close. You can kind of hear the jet sound. So here is the cooled off barrel. It's been a couple days. I'm going to take all these rocks off, and then I'm going to take the chimney off. And then I'm going to use a hammer to get this lid off because it's on there pretty tight. Okay, that's off. And so now the inner chamber has all that ash on it. I'm trying not to dump inside. And that's what's inside. So if we're lucky, you can just take a piece, and it should, yep, just breaks apart. Okay, so I've got it all emptied now. This is the finished charcoal